Hey guys, just a quick before the video starts. If you don't care about commentary, anything like that, don't care about Blight, just want to see some gameplay, I'll leave a link to the timestamp in the pinned comment. Just gameplay, no me, just Venom Gyre gameplay of tier 5 maps. Awesome. Thank you, enjoy the video. Morning, hope you've all had a fruitful league start. This is just an update video to show off some of the Venom Gyre gameplay now that we've got our boy to maps, and showing off the league mechanic a little bit. The league mechanic's actually really fun. I'm going to go into quite a bit of detail about it, and then after the gameplay I'll show off where the character's at and talk about leveling tips for anyone that's following the build guide. Our boy's now level 75, and this was the highest map I had at the time, which was a tier 5 grotto with Beyond mod on it. This is one of the better Blight examples I've run into. I've usually been cheesing them by just upgrading the tower to level 4. This one had the perfect balance of being tense and actually utilizing the towers quite a bit. The minion towers are really strong, and upgrading to level 4 where you can get the scout tower just dominates. I find it really profitable. It's been shit to run before maps because I just died to it constantly, but as soon as you get into maps you can crush through chaos recipes pretty quickly and even just get stat loads chaos on its own. I struggled to do them before maps. I don't think our build's great for it. If you take Pierce, you might be able to do it quite a bit better, but the big amounts of mobs before you have that huge damage, it's really hard to get through, and the towers felt really shit before that. Or maybe I was just really bad with them. Finding a tower you enjoy and playing around it is definitely the way to go. I really like the minion and fireball tower. I usually aim to max one tower rather than go on multiple. Like, getting a level 4 scout tower is good. I've not gotten a level 4 fireball yet, but it feels like it does way more if you just have one in the crossroads of it rather than having them spread out. But that's just me personally. Because when I get multiple level 1s, I feel like they're not doing enough at all to stop them, and I never know I didn't have enough damage to stop them by myself. It might have been just because I was tempting these throughout the acts, but who knows. As soon as I've started doing them in maps, it wasn't that bad. I also decided to get bonuses on my rings for the favorite tower, which for me is the scout tower. You can get the oils pretty quickly, pretty early on from the blights, and the oils for the towers aren't super expensive. On top of that, we're still waiting for the Path of Building update so we can actually juice up our Venom Gyre quite a bit, but the build's pretty strong as is. Judge for yourself by the gameplay. I'm really enjoying it. And on top of that, it's pretty defensive. I have no health, but Elusive has us dodging everything. I've never been this weak in maps while also dying, like, no, never, but who knows. So here's where my character's at now. I've done the classic dress them up with the MTX once you get to maps. Of course you do. I've also just gone and got a few upgrades. I've already picked myself up a Stark Conjures and a Belt of the Deceiver. These are fairly cheap, 4 Chaos for the Stark Conjures, 1 Chaos for the Belt of the Deceiver. On top of that, I've just been grabbing high Fizz DPS claws when I can and when they've been cheap. I got this one for about 5 Chaos, and I just found this one personally. You'll find that if you just crafting bench a lot of stuff, you'll be able to pick it up pretty easily, and you can look for stuff without mods. Like this one didn't have the Fizz damage on it, this one didn't have Fizz damage on it as well. But they'll both scale fairly well. You don't really need to buy them like I have, but it's not a huge deal. I've got myself only like 17 chaos. I'm not rich or anything, but you can scale into the game pretty well. And just getting into maps isn't too hard. I've not really done much of my Atlas yet. I'm just progressing through the early tiers. Still day 1. But the gameplay it's unreal. I'm looking to upgrade the chest piece to a Duresso's, but I'm unsure. The 4 link's really nice. And talking about links, Fork and GMP. I know I had someone on the forum question me like whether it was going to be good, but GMP and Fork, especially on Venom Gyre, is actually insane. Does feel bad without Pierce, but when you're chucking out that many projectiles and there's so many bouncing around, it's really not a problem. And you really need to get used to the playstyle with Whirl and Blaze, otherwise you're not going to do well. You want to be chucking them out heaps, and as soon as you get 30, just dash through the pack and then start hitting them on the other side. Usually you'd have Pierce and you just do the whole pack, but I think this is way more fun. It especially helps taking down the beefier monsters. While leveling, I used Cobra Lash to about Act 5. I used the same setup, just instead of GMP I used LMP, and instead of Fork I used Onslaught. This is a great setup, and you really start to notice Cobra Lash fall off around Act 5. And this is when you can seamlessly transition the Venom Gyre in. Venom Gyre you really don't want to use without Fork or GMP. It doesn't feel great. Early on it really felt bad. I didn't even want to use it for bosses. Cobra Lash luckily like filled that gap quite a bit. For today, for the Blights, you really just want to be finding a tower you enjoy. I've been going with the Scout Tower, as I was saying before, and the upgrade for that was just 2 Amber Oils, and it increases the damage by 25%. This will make the League mechanic much more enjoyable, and it helps you like scale with it a bit better. I know at first it's a bit awkward to get used to, and you really do have to kind of find what you enjoy. The League mechanic feels especially shit, I guess I could say. Because when you die, you don't get anything at all. Whereas like in Legion, if you tap mobs, you could still get some rewards. But that's just like the nature of the beast. Once you get into maps, it's really not much of a problem. I'm looking forward to seeing how endgame blighted maps will be. They could be really fun and provide a lot of rewards. Although when it does split up too much, even I find it quite a lot. In the example I was showing before, it was fairly straight and narrow. So I don't know. We'll have to see how we go when it gets into the later game. For now, that's it. Thanks for watching.